Hi everyone, welcome along to today's webinar. My name is Roshni and I'm part of the customer team here at SuiteFiles, and this is the first in a series of monthly webinars that we'll be hosting designed to help you get the most out of SuiteFiles. So today we'll be going over a few tips and tricks to help you navigate SuiteFiles with ease. I will be covering some of our little known keyboard shortcuts, searching in SuiteFiles, in particular the advanced search, how to search emails in the SuiteFiles Web App, some Outlook add-in tips, and SuitePrint. And we'll close with some Q&A. So if you do have any questions as we go along today, please feel free to add them into the Q&A section, which you can see in the Zoom webinar panel. I will be keeping an eye on any questions that come in throughout the session. Also note that I am recording and will be uploading the session to our Help Centre, which you can find at help.suitefiles.com. Another really easy way to get access to our Help Centre is via the SuiteFiles Web App. So when I'm referring to the web app in SuiteFiles, I mean the version of SuiteFiles that you are accessing via the browser. If you're not already, we recommend that you use the Chrome browser as your main browser if you're on a Windows computer. And the reason being is that we build a lot of we develop with the Chrome browser in mind, and we've also got the Chrome extension. So it means that you can make the most of this little guy, and I'll take you through one of the really cool features that we offer as part of the Chrome extension later on in today's session. So in terms of accessing the Help Centre, you can jump into your username in the top right corner and click on Help Centre there. So that just takes you to our help.suitefiles.com. We have a range of Help Centre articles. You can jump into the search. We have a getting started guide, so if you are new to SuiteFiles, we recommend taking a dive into there. And we've been working really hard on keeping all of our user guides, apps and integrations and troubleshooting sections up to date. So feel free to have a bit of a look at that and bookmark that, or just know that you can access that really easily from within the web app. Okay, so let's get started. First of all, we'll cover some of those keyboard shortcuts that you might not be aware of. So one of the first keyboard shortcuts that we have is the ability to copy and move files around in SuiteFiles. So if we jump into one of our client folders, so I'm going to jump into 99 Corporation. And at the very top level of my folder, I have a few unfiled files. So we want to keep things nice and tidy and move them into one of our existing folders that we have on the left-hand side. So we could click on the three dots to the right of the file name and go through, say, the move process. This opens up a window that you can navigate through your site until you find the folder that you ultimately want to store that file within. You can also do some moving in bulk. So that would be by clicking or hovering over the file name until you see this turn into a checkbox. So check that, and you can check one or more files in the list here, and we have a move and copy button at the top. So this allows you to move or copy files in bulk. So again, you're taken to that exact same interface where you can navigate through. Really handy if you're just wanting to shuffle things around within, say, one of your client folders. This is an option to use. However, the keyboard shortcut that we have is that instead of clicking through those buttons, all you need to do is make use of that checkbox on the left-hand side. So hover over, select the files that you want to move in this case. And to move a file using the keyboard shortcut, you'll press Control X on your keyboard. So that's X for cut. So we're cutting the files here. And you can see that they have just grayed out ever so slightly. So that means to me, I know that they have been added to my clipboard. And let's pop them into, say, let's see if we can, we'll chuck them into this folder here. And when we have found the folder that we want to store or move those files to, we'll press Control V on our keyboard. And so that will paste the files into the folder. So if we jump back to the 99 Corporation folder now, you can see that those files have been moved and we're only left with this little rogue work paper. So again, if we're wanting to move that, we can select the file and Control X and then navigate to the folder. If we would like to copy a file between folders, we can again select that file, press Control C on our keyboard. Again, it's going to grey out, making us know that we have copied that successfully. And then if we again jump back into a particular folder and press Control V, that is going to paste the file. So we can see here the work paper has now been pasted there or copied and pasted there. And because we did a copy this time, it's in both locations. So that's a really quick way of using keyboard shortcuts to both cut and copy your files and shuffle things around in SuiteFiles. And most of you will already know about the folder filter. So this is particularly useful if you are in your clients folder here. The filter for folders allows you to enter in the first part of a client folder name. So for example, if I was to type in Suite and press enter on my keyboard, that's going to filter my clients folder list with all client folders starting with the term Suite. So what you may not be aware of is that you don't even need to worry about placing your cursor and pressing enter. So one of the other keyboard shortcuts that I wanted to show you today was that if you say, let's just jump back into the clients folder, we're not clicking anything, we are just typing in SUITE on our keyboard. So of course you can't see me do that, but hopefully you can see that I didn't need to place my cursor in the filter folder field or press enter. That has just automatically filtered my results without me having to touch a thing other than my keyboard. So hopefully that helps you navigate around, and you've learned a couple of tricks in terms of keyboard shortcuts. One of the other things that you can do if you're trying to look for particularly a folder in SuiteFiles is that you can use the quick search. So we've got a couple of searching options. I guess the filter at the top of any of your lists, those are, that's just for the beginning of a folder name. The quick search will search a little bit deeper than that. So if we are looking for, say, client folder 99 Corp, we have the 99 Corporation result. This is because this is both a favorite and it's a client folder. So we prioritize the client folders in the list of results. So you can see the client folder is indicated by the little person icon, and then we list other files that might contain that search term, followed by any other folders below. Now, if you're looking for a particular file, you can turn your search term in the bar at the very top of SuiteFiles into an advanced search. So let's say I'm looking for a letter that I wrote. I know it's a very vague, broad search term here, but let's just go with it. So if we're looking for a letter, we're going to only have limited results in this quick search list. So in order to expand your search, you can turn this into an advanced search in one of two ways. So first of all, you can click on Advanced Search for letter in this case, or you can simply press Enter on your keyboard, and that's going to trigger this more powerful advanced search. So you can see here that I have 377 results for this letter, and I'll be wanting to reduce those down considerably in order to find what I'm looking for. So that's where we have these filters on the left-hand side of the screen, and I'll just go through those with you briefly, just so that you can understand how the advanced search is designed to work. So the content state at the top here, this is split into whether we want to just see everything containing that search term, if we're wanting to look for only current files. So by current, we mean anything that hasn't been archived. We also have in starred folders, so this relates to any item or any file that you have favorited in SuiteFiles, and you'll be able to favorite a file by clicking the star. Wherever you see that star within SuiteFiles, if you add it as a favorite, that will not only be listed in your favorites here, but you'll also be able to search for them if you do have quite a few favorites in your list. And then of course archived will show you any file that has been archived by you or other members of your team. So oftentimes if you can't find a file, it could be very well that one of your colleagues has archived it. So an advanced search is a really good way to just view any of your archived content really easily. It doesn't matter what your file preferences are. If you've got them switched to not show archived content, you'll still be able to see any archived files if you perform an advanced search. You can see that as we get down the list, the file type, that will show us how many of a particular file type we have. So if I'm looking for a Word document, I'll select Word and it will just start to filter the results down. In client folders, this is looking specifically at any files that are filed within your client folders in SuiteFiles. In financial year, so depending on how you have your folder structure set up in SuiteFiles, if you have set up subfolders that contain the financial year, then we will be able to take that, any files that are filed within that folder, we will present them under that financial year. If you don't have that financial year structure set up, then we'll simply be filing them or filtering them based on financial year according to their date last modified year. And then probably the most helpful, if it's something that you yourself have edited, or it's something that you have created, then you'll want to filter by your own name. So then by using those filters in the list, you'll start to easily get down to a more manageable list of results and be able to hopefully access and then open and edit the file in question here. And you may not may not be aware that we also have a search function that works specifically with emails. So this works especially well when you file all of your emails within one folder for a client. So if we just get back to home, a really easy way to get back to home in SuiteFiles is to click on the SuiteFiles logo in the top left corner. This acts as a little homing beacon for us. So really quick and easy to jump back to square one. Now, let's take a look back at our 99 Corporation client folder, we have several emails tucked away in an email folder. So we don't file them within each individual year. We have one sort of blanket email folder. Yours might be called correspondence. You may very well have them filed away according to financial year. The functionality that we have here is going to allow you to search for a keyword across all emails in a folder in the web app. Okay, so the first step is to just select one of your emails. So you just click on that. That will open a preview of the email. And then in order to search across your emails, you'll want to just click on this little icon. It sits below your username in the top right corner. So click that once, and this is going to pop out a little panel, and it shows all of the emails within this particular email folder. So if I'm looking for a particular term, so let's just use a really easy one here. If I wanted to do a search for, say, the term cloud, I can see the results in this list. So here, if I've selected this particular email, you can see that the term is highlighted in yellow for me. This does so happen to be a copy of the same email, so that just, it's not the best example, but hopefully you'll have some more real life data where you can, or real life emails where you can actually utilize this one and help you search for particular files. So that this particular panel only works once you've selected an email. So the steps there again are to go into your emails. You can see that I've got the panel enabled, but I don't have any files selected as yet. So it's not until you select at least one of your files there. Let's just open that into the preview, and that's when this functionality kicks in. Okay, so let me know if you have any questions on what you've seen so far. We're going to take, while we're on the topic of emails, let's take a look at a couple of lesser known features of the Outlook add-in. So let's just switch gears and jump into our inbox here. So here I have the Outlook add-in on the right-hand side of my inbox. And as you know, the Outlook add-in has been designed to allow you to file your incoming emails, whether it's the email itself. So we've got the email here, or we can also file the attachment. So the way that I personally use it is that I will jump into the search bar at the top of the screen, look for, in this case, Carol's Cupcakes is my client. So we have the search results listed here. So we have Carol's Cupcake Emporium. Just click that once, and we're going to want to file. In this case, we have just the correspondence folder. You're welcome to create a new folder within there as well, but I'll just pop that into the correspondence folder. So the standard process here is to simply drag and drop the email into the Outlook add-in, and that's going to add that email to the Outlook add-in, and it's going to specify here via a category that it has been added to SuiteFiles. You can also drag and drop individual attachments as well. So if perhaps I didn't need the email itself, I just needed the attachment, I can drag and drop that attachment into SuiteFiles right from within the add-in. But did you also know that you can drag and drop files from, say, your desktop into the Outlook add-in? So maybe you just don't have your browser open, but you're working in your emails. So what you can do is, if we just minimize this a little bit and open our File Explorer, I have a few files that I've just got hanging out on my desktop. So what I want to do is I can file these away in the Outlook add-in. So I'm just going to close that little uploaded bar, just to give me a little bit more room to navigate. And we might just jump back into Home and Clients, and I'll jump into, say, 99 Corporation. And let's just pop into the Jobs folder here. And we can drag and drop files from our desktop into the Outlook add-in. Again, we can navigate around using the navigation arrows at the top there. And let's just pop one other file into here. So that's something that not everyone is aware of, and it can be a really good time saver if you have a few files hanging out on your desktop or in your downloads folder that you need to actually upload into SuiteFiles. One of the other options that you can use is not for downloading files, or not for uploading files to SuiteFiles, but just for easy navigation throughout the Outlook add-in. You might not be aware of these little filters along the top. So we are soon going to be updating or refreshing the look and feel of the Outlook add-in, so you'll have that to look forward to. Our design and development team have been working really hard to bring you some updates to the Outlook add-in. But if we are, say, in our emails, the filters here, and I'll just make this bigger again, the filters along the top here in blue, they will by default be sorted alphabetically by name, but if you're wanting to, say, organize by date or by file type, in this case I'm in my emails folder, so they're all email file types. There is also the ability to sort the emails by an email filter, and that will also give you a whole lot more information around the email. So definitely give those filters a go, and they'll be staying put, but just in a different way in the new Outlook add-in. We'll be sure to let you know once that has been released. So last of all, let's take a look at SuitePrint. So this is a feature that is available as part of our Chrome extension, and it's particularly useful for saving files from while you're, say, navigating in the Chrome browser into SuiteFiles. So if we jump back into here, now in terms of actually installing the Chrome add-in here, the Chrome extension here, what you'll need to do if you don't already have this set up is to jump into your SuiteFiles Web App, click on your username and select Download Apps. And then you can download the Chrome extension. So that is going to take you to the Chrome Web Store, where you can just follow the steps to basically, it will say add to Chrome. Just follow the steps there, and if you get stuck, we do have installation instructions on our Help Center. So just search for installing the SuiteFiles Chrome extension, and you'll be able to have this little guy set up in SuiteFiles. So where it comes in handy is, say you're in, navigating around in Chrome. You do need to be using Chrome in order to make use of this. But let's say you stumble upon a file. Rather than, say, downloading that and then dragging and dropping that into the SuiteFiles web app or in SuiteFiles Drive or via the add-in, you can actually jump into your print settings. So here I have an example of a report with XPM, if you have, or Workflow Max, if you have Workflow Max or Zero Practice Manager plus the Chrome extension, you will actually see this button throughout Zero Practice Manager or Workflow Max. This will allow you to export a PDF directly into SuiteFiles. You can navigate through your folder structure, and you can file these away. Just give it a name. and then press save. So that is one option if you are specifically using XPM or Workflow Max and you have the Chrome extension installed, you may see this little button pop up from time to time. It's also available in work papers if you are exporting work papers. So that's one option, but if you find that you're not in these apps, you're just navigating around Chrome, if you go to print a file, then what you can do, if you go into the destination, so here you might have to just select the See More option to be taken to the Select a Destination page in Chrome. And here we have the Suite Print options. You'll see our logo along the right there. This Suite Print option, once selected, will allow you to print and navigate through your folder structure in SuiteFiles to save a copy of this file directly in your chosen location. So we'll click on print. We don't have to worry about any of the other settings. So this has actually just jumped onto my other screen here. So you'll see a similar interface to what we saw with the export button here. This allows us to navigate through our folder structure. You can use the filter on the top right here. So if we're looking again for Carol's Cupcakes, 2019, and we can just give our file a name before we click save. So that will now have been saved into SuiteFiles in your chosen location. Okay, so that actually brings us to the end of the webinar. So I hope you have been able to pick up a few handy tips and tricks to help you navigate throughout SuiteFiles. If you do have any questions, please add them to the Q&A section, and I will do my absolute best to cover them off. So Samantha has asked, when you click on this, sometimes it all turns orange. How do you get rid of that? So sorry, Samantha, I didn't pick that up at the time that I was navigating through. I'll definitely check that out in the video recording and see what exactly it was that I was clicking on. Sorry, my memory's a little bit terrible right now and I didn't actually pick that up. So I'll definitely check that out, and if that's something that we are able to remedy, then I will absolutely talk to our developers to get that sorted. So Tracy has mentioned that she must be accessing the Outlook panel to open, but nothing is there, no search function or anything, even when I select an email. So Tracy, that doesn't sound too good. Let's perhaps get you to, we'll get our support team to touch base with you just to see what might be going on there. So I can't help with troubleshooting on the spot, just because there can be a number of reasons that the Outlook add-in may not be appearing. We do have some common Outlook add-in solutions on our Help Center. So if we jump into SuiteFiles Outlook, we do have some installation instructions there if you need them. Otherwise, we do have some common Outlook add-in issues, Help Center articles. But absolutely get in touch, or I'll just grab your email if you don't mind, and we can touch base and talk about that and get you all set up with the Outlook add-in. So Helen has asked, how do you get the SuiteFiles add-in on Outlook? So what you'll need to do, first of all, you'll need to be using the desktop version of Outlook. And then you will go through the installation instructions. So it's actually really quick and easy to do from the web app. So if you click on your username in the top right corner, select Download Apps, there will be the option to download the Outlook add-in. So that will just download a file to your computer, which will click through and run, just like any other sort of computer program that you install. And then the next time you log into or you open your Outlook, you'll see a panel pop out to the right of your Outlook. So you'll then be able to log in with your SuiteFiles credentials, and then it will load your file structure, your folder structure for you. If you get stuck with that installation process, then definitely check out that Help Center article on installation. Otherwise, feel free to contact us. Our support email address is support@suitefiles.com. Bronwyn has asked, when printing with SuitePrint, does the file save as a PDF or an HTML? It will save the file as a PDF. Melinda has mentioned that she cannot preview emails in her Chrome, but she has it installed. What do I do? We might just need to see an example of that, Melinda. If the file is a .msg, I think that's the correct file extension in order for you to be able to preview the emails in the web app. But again, you might just want to reach out to us. It would be great to have an example of the file in question so that we can just have a little bit of a tinker at our end. Okay, and Brendan says sometimes the Outlook add-in stops showing the year folders, so you can see the client but not the folders. Is it best just to close Outlook and reset, or is there a quicker way to refresh the Outlook add-in? Okay, I haven't heard of that one specifically. It might be because the only subfolders that you have listed are year folders. I'm just making a guess there. But one of the things that you might find is that if you have sort of switched into one of the other filtering options, it might just pay to jump back and ensure that you're on the name option, or just click the back arrows, and that typically, so long as you're sort of at that top level of your client folder, plus you've got the filter selected as name, then you should be able to see the all of your folders in view. If that's not working for you, then it would be really great to maybe have one of our support team members call, connect and have a look at that with you, Brendan. So just let us know if that consistently is happening, and yeah, we can definitely call and take a look at that. So guys, we have some really exciting updates coming up in the not too distant future. So we'll be making these webinars at least monthly. We might have to do them a little bit more regularly just because we've got lots coming out. So there's some of the things that you'll see coming out very soon. Hopefully you've heard that we have document signing coming out. So that is available currently in beta. We're just wrapping up the beta program, putting some nice finishing touches on the functionality, and then that will be available on our Pro plan later this month. We're making some enhancements to our search functionality, and that's going to include full text search. So stay tuned for more on that. As I mentioned, this little Outlook add-in, he's getting a makeover. So we'll just see a refreshed look and feel coming through very, very soon. We have a new Suite Drive coming out. Some of you might already have received that. That will be available from our Downloads Center. I'm just waiting on a few last minute things there before we roll that out to everyone and make that available for everyone there. And then one of the bigger projects that we're working on in the next few months is the ability to share in SuiteFiles. So that's with both internal users, as you can do now, and we're just broadening the scope for sharing with external users. So those are people that are not part of your SuiteFiles site. So stay tuned for more exciting updates on that. So as I say, we've got lots going on. So you will be hearing a lot more from me. So do be sure to follow us on all the socials. So we have our Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn. If you're part of those, then definitely do like us or follow us or tweet us or whatever it is that you're supposed to do, and we'll be sure to keep everyone up to date on all of those product updates as they come through. You're all most likely subscribed to our newsletter as well, which is why you are here with us today. So thank you so much for coming along. If you want to subscribe to our newsletter, I will, and you're not already, then I will include a link along with the recording once we have processed and popped this recording up online. So we'd be keen to get everyone in your team up to date in our system, and so we can communicate all of these exciting updates with you all. And if this has just sort of been the beginning of your SuiteFiles adventure, then please do come along to our regular webinars. We do hold them weekly, so just jump onto our website, which is suitefilescom/learn/webinars. We have a basics training session which goes through all of the file and folder basics. We step through the installation process for the Outlook add-in and the SuiteFiles drive, so do definitely come along to that if you are a newbie. We have an advanced training session which covers more of the more complicated functions such as the sharing in SuiteFiles, tasks, scanning, and file templates and email templates. We have a session dedicated to administrators, so we can show you through how to manage your account, manage your folder permissions and your user permissions. And finally, we host a weekly webinar on Xero Practice Manager integration. So a lot of functionality is powered by that Chrome extension that we dabbled in today, and there's a lot more that is on offer, especially if you're using Xero Practice Manager or Workflow Max. So I'll jump onto that site just so that you can see where you can access that. So just jump into suitefiles.com, and if you scroll down to the bottom here, under Get Started, you can select Attend a Webinar. So as I say, we hold these weekly. Just pick and choose the ones that you want to come to. You're most welcome to come along to those. Those are free for everybody. So they take roughly 30 minutes to an hour each. Okay, and if there's anything in particular that you'd like to learn more about or would like to see in one of our next webinars, then please feel free to add that suggestion to the Q&A section. We'd be grateful for your feedback, and we look forward to seeing you along at a future webinar. Thanks everyone for attending, and hope you enjoy the rest of your day.